Hello and welcome to the third episode of our very special series called the Bharat Pulse Survey. NewsX has conducted a comprehensive survey and posed several questions to our viewers on a host of themes, but our third poll focuses on politics. The year that has gone by has witnessed a high-stakes general election. This was followed by assembly polls in 4 states that witnessed equally intense battles. Considering the charged political landscape, we asked for your opinion on our leaders. Let's take a look at the verdict that the people and the survey responders have given. Question number 1 that was posed to the survey takers: who has been the most effective Prime Minister of India? 54% majority with Narendra Modi, 14% with Manmohan Singh, 14% with Atal Bihari Vajpayee, 12% with Indira Gandhi, 5% with Jawaharlal Nehru, and 1% say Narasimha Rao. So the overwhelming majority here feels that Narendra Modi was the most effective. Who is the most effective current opposition leader is the second question we posed. 32% majority say Rahul Gandhi. After him is, in fact, none of the above. That was the most popular answer because the other faces that we proposed was Arvind Kejriwal, MK Stalin, Mamata Banerjee. MK Stalin at 2% popularity rating, Mamata Banerjee 6%, and Arvind Kejriwal at 15%. Question number 3 that we posed: who do you think will form a union government in 2029? That's of course the next big question on everyone's minds as well. 48% people feel that the BJP will come back in 2029 with a full majority. 20% say that it will be a BJP government, but it will be in an NDA alliance. 14% say that the Congress has a chance of coming with a full majority. That means Congress alone. And 18% say that it would be a Cong-led alliance. Question number 4. Would you like to see Narendra Modi contest the 2029 election? An overwhelming number, 68% responders say yes, they want to see Narendra Modi back in 2029. 27% say no, 5% say maybe, and there was no one who didn't have an opinion on this. Question number 5 that we posed: which of these opposition leaders is a possible future Prime Minister? Another big question, of course. 28% people say Rahul Gandhi, but once again, viewers, majority of the responders say none of the above. 44% people have said none of the above, and the names that were proposed were Arvind Kejriwal, who's the second most popular after Rahul Gandhi, then Priyanka Gandhi, who's the third most popular out of all of these, Mamata Banerjee at number 4, and MK Stalin once again at number 5 with 2%. So those were the 5 big questions that we posed to our survey responders in the Bharat Pulse survey. But I'm going to begin this conversation now with our analysts. We will start with the first question that we put out to our survey responders. And that question, of course, was regarding who has been the most effective Prime Minister of India. 54% said Narendra Modi. I have with me on the broadcast Priya Sehgal, editorial director of NewsX, and Joyita Basu, editor of the Sunday Guardian, with us as well. Priya Sehgal, let me begin this conversation with you. 54% say that Narendra Modi has been the most effective Prime Minister, and Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Manmohan Singh are tied. To be fair, perhaps those who responded were either not alive or maybe don't remember enough about Indira Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, and Narasimha Rao. But if we're just looking at from the Atal Bihari Vajpayee era, still an overwhelming majority feels that Narendra Modi has been the most effective Prime Minister till date.
Exactly. In fact, I was going to make that same point because, Nehru died in 64. So 60 years ago, I don't know how many of what age the respondents were. So, that whole Nehru versus Modi comparison should be taken, keeping that perspective in mind. Having said that, same would go for Indira Gandhi and even Vajpayee. In fact, a lot of people were not even, 92. Babri Masjid is no longer an issue with most people. If you look at it, I don't even think the Ayodhya rebuilding had got the same votes for the BJP for the very same reason. Because a lot of today's generation was not there when this whole movement took place, and it, the emotive culmination does not work for them as it does for the, for the rest of us perhaps. So having said that, Narendra Modi, strongest Prime Minister, I think I'm not surprised because, I think the age and the young generation and the youth today really want a decisive leader. Vajpayee was a very good prime minister, but he was more a consensus man. He was not, he didn't have a full party government. He did not also manage to deliver on a lot of things that the BJP wanted him to deliver on. So having Dr. Manmohan Singh, more a better economist than a prime minister. He was not really known for his politics. He didn't hold himself in good steam in that sense. So I am not surprised to see Narendra Modi on that 28% seat, though I would have hoped that Manmohan Singh would have got more, because I really do feel he is the most underrated prime minister that we've had also.
Okay, all right. Moving on quickly to the second question that we asked, who is the most effective current opposition leader? Joyita Basu, 32% people say Rahul Gandhi. And quite interestingly, the second most popular answer was none of the above. And as I said, the faces that we proposed was Mamata Banerjee, MK Stalin and Arvind Kejriwal. So Arvind Kejriwal in fact comes number 2 after Rahul Gandhi. Mamata Banerjee at just a 6% popularity and MK Stalin at 2% of the voters there. But do you feel that Rahul Gandhi's popularity also has something to do with the Congress party really being a national party, or has he managed to, over the years or over the last decade, build some of that popularity?
Well, I am not certain whether the popularity is the correct word here. I would say visibility, and you are completely right when you are talking about national party. A national party always has anyway an edge, not an edge, I would say a mile and kilometer kind of a distance there, I mean head and shoulders above any regional party. But at the same time, I would have liked to know, before the Lok Sabha elections, what Rahul Gandhi's visibility, or that he is the most effective current opposition leader would have been, compared to what we are witnessing after the general elections of June 2024. Because you see, if Congress was restricted to a very meager number, 99 is a reasonably respectable number, perhaps that these numbers would have been different. But having said that, I would say even then Rahul Gandhi would have been the number one most effective, quote unquote effective current opposition leader.
Priya Sehgal, your take on the same. Rahul Gandhi emerging as the most effective opposition leader. Interestingly, Mamata Banerjee, even though she has been trying to really stand out and make her mark, and she's again said that there needs to be a separate bloc without Congress. Aam Aadmi Party has also started that narrative in New Delhi. How is it that what is your assessment of the responders here?
I like the word Joyita used, visible rather than, in terms of effective. Definitely, being the only opposition leader, pan-India opposition leader, Rahul Gandhi does have an edge over all the others. Effectiveness, if Mamata Banerjee is better in terms of beating off the BJP, she stood her ground. Akhilesh Yadav did well. Stalin has been doing his part very well. Rahul Gandhi electorally has not done as well as some of the others. But in terms of his image, I think where Rahul Gandhi has made his mark is his consistency in taking on Narendra Modi and the RSS. He is very emphatic, and he carries on that same campaign against the Prime Minister and the RSS. But that's also his weakness, because at the end of the day, it's a political party. It's not just a one-man driven campaign. He should be actually focusing on issues rather than going after the Prime Minister. He should be focusing on, which is what the opposition also wants him to do, issue-based attack rather than a personality-driven attack. But that's anyway his way of working. So yes, that keeps him in the headlines, that keeps him visible, and he has also done that huge turnaround with the Bharat Jodo. So that has again kept him, in terms of his credibility, I think he's gone up a notch. But electorally, and that is when the effectiveness comes in. So electorally, even Kejriwal has done better than Rahul Gandhi. So in that sense, the respondents, I think they must have weighed on everything before they answered you. But effective opposition leader, I would agree with Joyita on that. Still a lot to be done.
Right, absolutely. Let's put out question number 3 as well. Who do you think will form a union government in 2029? That's of course the next big question. 48% people say that it will be the BJP back with a full majority, and another 20% say that even if the BJP doesn't have a full majority, it's still going to be an NDA alliance, a BJP-led NDA alliance that will come to power. Joyita, your take on the same? I mean, for the same party to come back for a fourth consecutive term. What will it take for the BJP?
Well, actually, when you are looking at what people believe, it is actually 48 plus 20%,
Yes.
meaning it is 68%, that is almost 70% people believe at this point in time that yes, BJP is coming back, and especially this has to be seen in the context of the elections that the BJP has won post the Lok Sabha. Again, I am going to say I would have liked to see this poll if it was conducted soon after the Lok Sabha elections, maybe in July or even August. You know, the results could have been different. It may not have been as high the number as it is right now. But yes, that is what people feel, you know. I mean, so obviously one of the primary reasons being the opposition is nowhere to be seen, number one. And then when you are looking at the elections that took place, the state elections, obviously the BJP has made a comeback in a big way, particularly in Maharashtra, even Haryana for that matter. You know, so all these factors have played into the people's minds, and they have given an answer like this.
Priya Sahgal, do you agree with that assessment that somewhere the recent state elections have also played into people's answers, the fact that the BJP did make a comeback in Haryana when most people were not expecting it, that they've come back, and how in Maharashtra?
Well, yes, the BJP's comeback has a lot to do with it, though interestingly, it was not Narendra Modi leadership that made that comeback possible. It was the BJP and the RSS that really gets more credit than just him.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to see whether, the BJP going in for the next elections with Narendra Modi as Prime Minister, will that get a different answer as a BJP without Narendra Modi? Because I think people still believe that in terms of the Lok Sabha, despite what happened in June this year, Narendra Modi still holds the best bet. You know, if we see, say, perhaps a Yogi Adityanath versus the Rahul Gandhi battle, then I wonder what the people response would be. So I think we are going in with all things being equal and nothing changing. Narendra Modi, so this also gives, I think his part of his popularity is also in play over here. So I think it's interesting that, again, it comes down to election wins, Devika. The fact that Congress has not been able to deliver a concise, comprehensive win after the Lok Sabha means that people still don't believe that Rahul Gandhi has it in him to deliver, and they don't want a hodgepodge of another front, National Front, United Front, whatever, India Front. So I think keeping all that in mind, they want stability, and the BJP is best placed to provide that stability under the leadership of the current Prime Minister. So I think that's probably what's the thinking behind that poll.
Priya Sahgal, at the same time, 18% people feel that it's going to be a Congress-led alliance. What will it take for the Congress party to really come up with that alliance?
But first of all, they have to, they do have the time. If they're going to be focusing on the next Lok Sabha, now's the time to seal that India alliance. And by sealing it, I mean get, some kind of an organization structure in play. Get a convener, get a common agenda. They can always say that local elections will be fought separately, but the Lok Sabha, let's have a common agenda, common plank, and let's go ahead with it. And the convener should not be someone from the Congress, but a Mamata Banerjee. So, which is always happens whenever there's been a United Front, National Front, the convener has been a regional leader. George Fernandez, Chandrababu Naidu, R.K. Hegde, they've all been conveners of various fronts. So the Congress should do that, take everybody along, and now is the time to start that work really if they want to, deliver on that 18% of hope. And of course, try and win whatever elections they have in the meantime, especially where they have a direct face-off with the BJP. Those are the elections the Congress really needs to win, because if you look at the elections that are coming next year, Delhi is going to be more Kejriwal versus BJP. Bihar is going to be again Tejasvi Yadav is going to be the face. So wherever the Congress comes into play, and that's usually what happens is the run-up, the Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh elections that are the run-up to the general elections. Congress should start preparing itself for that, because where the optics are concerned, it's very important for the Congress to win those, to prove to the other members of the India Alliance that they are in the position to lead.
Okay, Joyita, your perspective on that as well. Congress-led alliance coming to power in 2029. How will that work?
Well, I think that assessment would have come only from hardcore Congress voters and Congress supporters. And perhaps this is also in keeping with the percentage of, in a larger scale, this is also in keeping with generally the percentage of vote that Congress gets, 14 plus 18, okay, it's right now. It's over 30, but of course Congress does not get that much. But even then, this is what, it's a reflection of what the country thinks. So I mean, I really don't know, because the Congress has not, I agree with Priya completely, that the Congress has not shown anything until now to prove that it can come to power. And as you can see what is happening with the India Alliance, there is always some kind of a, there is already some kind of an unhappiness with Congress. In fact, right now in India Alliance, when you are looking at, Congress is really weakened. Congress comes across as really weakened, and that is going to affect, and that is the reason why everybody wants to be the leader of the India Alliance, particularly Mamata Banerjee, and Shiv Sena is also saying that yeah, we should consider Mamata Banerjee's thing. So yes, I mean, that looks like bit of a, I would say, chimera, bit of a mirage right now.
Absolutely. And as Joyita pointed out, Mamata Banerjee, Omar Abdullah, we have Arvind Kejriwal's party now, Shiv Sena, UBT, Sharad Pawar's NCP, most of the parties have spoken out against the Congress. So it will be interesting to see how that will work out for 2029. But let's move on to the next question that we posed to our viewers. Would you like to see Narendra Modi contest the 2029 elections? Now, this is one of the biggest questions before anyone who's even remotely interested in politics. 68% people, an overwhelming majority, say yes. 27% people say no, 5% people say maybe. Joyita, Basu, this is the biggest question also before the Bharatiya Janata Party today. It's the question that we've been in fact asking since the 2019 elections. We knew that it will be Narendra Modi's face in 2024, but the question everyone's been asking is who in 2029?
Well, I think the voters still believe that yes, Prime Minister Modi 5 years from now, I guess he will be closer to 80 at that time. He is the best person, but you see, public opinion can be very, very fluid, and fickle also. So you do not know which way things will be, like, say for example, even 1 month, 6 months from now, 8 years from, 1 year from now, 5 years is a long time away. Because you see, first thing the BJP needs to settle amongst itself is that who exactly the BJP is going to, who exactly will succeed Mr. Modi. Okay, until and unless that is sorted out, I don't see that, people will continue to repose their faith in Mr. Modi, but I am not certain whether that will reflect in the voting. And if there is somebody very dynamic and young coming up in the opposition ranks, I am not certain this might flip. So, this is something right now there is no one anywhere near Mr. Modi, and again this is a reflection of what the country generally feels about Mr. Modi. So, this voting percentage that you are showing, that is also Mr. Modi's popularity is at the level around 70%. 71 or 2%, which is in keeping with what his popularity has been, except for certain dips that have been there, at the time of COVID and all. But whether this is going to hold 5 years from now, I am not certain about that.
Okay, Priya Saigal, your perspective on the same. You raised a very interesting point that as far as state elections are concerned, the credit for that shouldn't necessarily only go to Narendra Modi, it should go to the BJP working at the local level, and of course the push that it gets from the RSS as well. But nationally, is the BJP in a position to groom any upcoming leader in the next 5 years to replace Narendra Modi as a personality? Whether you like him or not, he is an aura and a personality in himself as far as national elections and leading India is concerned.
Yeah, exactly, Devika. But there is also, he is losing his sheen somewhat. We saw that happening in the Lok Sabha elections. We even saw that in Haryana and Maharashtra when he wasn't the face of the BJP. So, there is a diminishing returns of a brand, and perhaps Prime Minister Modi has peaked. So now the BJP has to take into consideration that is he still their best bet despite his diminishing aura, or is someone else on the rise who can match up to the Prime Minister's stature? Because having said that his aura is diminishing, he's still the tallest leader in the BJP, and in fact, even taking the opposition into account, he's holding his ground still. So will the BJP go in for one last shot for Prime Minister Modi, or will they bring in, anyone? There's a whole lot of Gen X leaders. And again, if they want to bring in a change of guard, like the Congress and the opposition, now's the time to start that grooming, identifying the Gen X leader, whoever it is, and, getting him ready to play a national role. For instance, if it's Yogi Adityanath, then after the 27 UP elections, bring him back to Delhi, and give him a national role, or whoever you want to be the replacement for Prime Minister Modi. We haven't seen any signs of that, which is why I do tend to believe BJP will go ahead with Narendra Modi. He still seems to be the best, and as of today, the position that is, there seems to be no rethink on that one. He will be the person who will be, I think, leading the BJP. And in answer, one quick addition to your last question, the 18% Congress hope also rests perhaps in not what the Congress will do right, but actually more on what the BJP will do wrong. Will the BJP score more self goals and actually, go fall, and the Congress is just in the best default position to reap the loss of reap the gains of whatever the BJP is losing? That might happen. Congress may not. I don't see any positive plan from the Congress side, so they may just be waiting for the BJP to muck up, and then they'll step in as the best alternative. That seems to be really the way the Congress is functioning these days.
Okay, interesting. But another question pops up to my mind on that. Joyita Basu, if we are to go by how the BJP is selecting its, let's stick to question number 4 right now. If we are to go by how the BJP is selecting its leadership, how they've done it for Nayab Saini, for example, in Haryana, and also the trajectory we've seen of a Narendra Modi, 3-time Chief Minister of Gujarat. There was a whole Gujarat model that was promised in 2024, which will be implemented nationally. Then he's become 3-time Prime Minister as well. Keeping all of that in mind, and how the BJP says that it focuses on the work a person does rather than, whether they're connected to a political family and all of that, who comes to your mind as a possible person that is being groomed by the Bharatiya Janata Party?
Well, that's a very tough question, Devika, because I am certain there are so many people who have this ambition of, taking the Prime Minister's chair, or even lead the BJP in the next election, or maybe the election after. Well, Amit Shah comes to mind, obviously. Then there is Yogi Adityanath. Then maybe someone like Devendra Fadnavis. There are so many people. Okay, so
right.
That is a very, very tricky question, but maybe because it is such a tricky question that the BJP may finally decide to go with Mr. Modi in the next election as well.
Right. Priya, 30 seconds, your thoughts on the same question.
I think I agree. So far there doesn't seem to be any indication, unless it's 5 years is a long time. Rekha, let's wait and see, or rather 4 years. If Yogi wins UP decisively, then I think he would give Prime Minister Modi a run for the Prime Minister's stakes, because the RSS seems to be also waiting and watching. They may want to promote a next gen, because the RSS thinks beyond a personality. They want to really think what's best for the party and the road ahead. Yogi has come into its own. He is actually the Modi model. He has a UP model. He's been chief minister twice. If he wins 27 thrice, he is a star campaigner. He's been campaigning in the south, in the north, outside UP also. He's well known. He's a Hindutva brand. He is the part of that, the saint, the philosopher, politician. He fits into that also. So I think a lot of that, not philosopher, but the Hindutva leader politician. So I think given all that, he will fit the bill. A lot depends on what 2027 brings, really. Then we'll know.
Okay, interesting perspective. That brings us to our last question we asked to our viewers. Which of these opposition leaders is a possible future Prime Minister of India? 28% people say Rahul Gandhi, but very interestingly, once again, Joyita Basu, 44% people have actually said none of the above, when the other options were Priyanka Gandhi, Arvind Kejriwal, Mamta Banerjee and MK Stalin. Priyanka Gandhi actually faring better than Mamta Banerjee and MK Stalin as far as future possible Prime Ministers is concerned. What is your take on that?
Well, that is because it is, she's a national figure. Visibility. Again, it's a question of visibility. But the very fact that Rahul Gandhi is 28% and quote unquote Nota is 44%, therein hangs a tale. You see, when you are looking at it, so none of them, not one of them, and because Mamta Banerjee is just a regional leader, In fact, how much is MK Stalin? 2%. No one in
yes.
the most of the country have not heard about MK Stalin beyond Tamil Nadu and maybe one or two these things. So, Arvind Kejriwal has a higher, because it's all how much coverage people have got, these people have got nationally, how much the TV channels talk about them, how much the media talks about them, and obviously social media and all. So, this is exactly related to that, but the very significant number is Nota 44%.
Okay, Priya Sehgal, interestingly, yes, 44% say none of the above, which means that there could be another name in their minds. Now, this could be our fault as well, because we've been churning the same names for the past 10 years. It's always Rahul Gandhi, Mamata Banerjee, MK Stalin, Arvind Kejriwal. Akhilesh Yadav is missing from this particular list. Your perspective on that?
Not our fault for giving those names, because at the end of the day, who thought of Devi Gowda or I.K. Gujral would become?
Yes.
It's the way the numbers throw up. But whether Rahul Gandhi is the face or not, Rahul Gandhi will be calling the shots. If it is the non-BJP formation, any opposition formation, the Congress will play a decisive role. And if the Congress plays a decisive role, it is going to be Rahul Gandhi. He may not be the face. He may do a Sonia Gandhi and put a Manmohan Singh type of figure. He may do a Sitaram Kesri and support a united front, in the seat of the Prime Minister, but he will be calling the shots. The Congress will be calling the shots, Rahul Gandhi will be calling the shots. So I think let's not discount him away just because he's not, become that visibility, or his own face has not reached out to the people the way Prime Minister Modi has. If or whenever there is a non-government, BJP government, it will be a Congress-led, it will be Congress that will be calling the shots, which means Rahul Gandhi. So we can't really discount him as yet.
Okay, all right. With that, viewers, we come to the end of this very special telecast. My thanks to Priya Sehgal and Joyita Basu for joining us with their perspective on the Bharat Pulse Survey, where we dissected 5 crucial political questions. We leave you with that. A very happy new year.